Good afternoon, or good morning, whatever it is for you. So beautiful summer afternoon, and so we're gonna start today with color theory and color mixing. We need to do that before starting painting because we have to know how what the quality of the specific colors are. So I have here, as I already mentioned in the material list, the colors. So I have two yellows, cadmium lemon and cadmium medium, two reds, cadmium medium and alizarin crimson, two blue, cobalt and ultramarine. So this is going to be cool. This yellow is going to be warm. This red is warm. This red is cool. This blue is very balanced, so what we could say it's cool, and the cobalt, difficult to say if a blue is cool or warm, but this would be the warm color. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna start with two triads, mixing first the cool colors together and see what happens. Then we're gonna mix the warm colors together and see what's gonna happen. And then we're gonna mix a cool and a warm color. We're gonna have as you can see, pretty quickly, a great variety of colors obtained just by mixing these 6 colors in here. So tools that you need today are these colors, a brush. I'll leave it up to you if you want to get a flat brush or a round, a pencil, paper. I have a sheet of watercolor paper here, and of course you need water. Let me see. So you need water. Here I have 2 containers of water. One I'm going to use for the cool colors and one for the warm colors. I put them one inside the other one because I save space, but you don't have to. And you need a plate. See, one of beautiful ceramic plate that broke, and I never throw out anything. So I fixed it, and I'm gonna mix the colors in there. You also need paper towels, paper napkins. Always have one of these to block, to remove the excess paint, etc. And then you need a beautiful Sunday afternoon. So let's get started. Right? So first we're going to get the watercolor paper, and then next thing I want to do is I want to block in 3 circles. So these 3 colors that I'm going to use are the 3 primary colors, right? 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to mix these 3 colors with each other. So I'm going to have a, let's say, yellow. So this is going to be the cool triad, the 3 cool colors, right? Cool. And these are 3 primaries. So yellow, red, and blue. So as I mix these colors, I'm going to obtain a secondary color, right? So I'm going to put the secondary colors here. Eventually, you know, continuing with this method, we can add to tertiary colors, etc. But we'll leave that alone, right? So for now, now I mix these 2 and these 2. So basically, so yellow and red, cool yellow and red, and I will obtain an orange. In theory, because then we'll see what happens, right? I'm gonna mix the red and the blue and obtain a violet, right? Then I'm gonna mix the yellow and the blue and obtain a green, right? So these are primary colors, primary colors, primary colors, and these are secondary colors, secondary colors, secondary colors. So the secondary colors are the color obtained by mixing two primaries. So now, let's see, in here, well, let's get started with this. Let's get started with this, right? So I got my water close to me, and I'm going to use water from one of these two containers. And let's see, I get some of my yellow, cool yellow. So I go with cool yellow, right? Cool yellow here. That makes a little bit of water. You can also squeeze some color out on a palette like this and then wet it. It's really up to you. I just, you know, doesn't matter. So I like to test the color before putting it down. So what you do, you're gonna test it there, see if it's the right consistency, etc. Right? And then when you have the right consistency, the right dilution, you put the yellow here. See what I mean? Now we're gonna see the difference between a cool yellow and a warm yellow later when I'm gonna compare the two. Rinse, right? Rinse well. Dry up, take off all the color from the brush, because you don't want to have this color contaminate the next color, which is going to be a alizarin crimson, a cool red, right? This alizarin crimson. So I'm gonna mix it, and maybe let me show you. Get a piece of paper handy, always piece of paper handy. Try it, see if it works, and say, all right, I'm happy with that. And then red, right? So this is a cool red. So cool red tend more toward the violet in the spectrum, and the warm red tends more toward the orange in the spectrum, right? So sometimes the concept of cool and warm is intuitive for some people, and for some other people, what are you talking about? Cool and warm. So this is one way you think of it. So on the spectrum, if that moves a little bit toward the green, tends to be yellow, move toward the orange, tend to be cool. I'm sorry. This one moves a little bit toward the orange, and then it's warmer. So, but now you see this is a cool red, yellow. This is cool red, and then we're gonna put in ultramarine, right? Ultramarine blue, very beautiful, balanced blue. We'll try it. It's a little bit beady. I don't like it, so I'm going to get a little bit more paint here. So I decrease the dilution, right? And then try again, better, right? So, and then I put it here. And now what I want to start doing is mixing these colors, right? So so I'm gonna mix some, and I'm gonna use this to do so now, right? I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna mix some cool yellow, right? Some of the same yellow that I used so far. Put it there, and then maybe you use another. Maybe you use another brush that does not have any paint in it to pick up some. Let's start with the green, right? We pick up some of this blue, put it there, right? And then gradually what I want to do is mix them, right? So be careful with the blue. It's going to be very powerful, you know, in relation to the yellow. So don't mix in equal quantities. Mix enough color so that you obtain a green. So you see now already here how many more possibility I can have. Depending how much blue I mix with the yellow, I'm going to attain a darker blue or green, or if I mix more yellow, the green is going to be a warmer green, all right? So we see already with just these two colors, we're going to have a 10, 20 green, right? So now I put the green here, right? And this green is a little bit an acid green, you know, but it's not super bright, but sometimes maybe I need a green like that, right? So I'm going to block in my little square of green, and I have my first secondary color, right? So if instead of using a cadmium yellow, I would use a transparent cadmium lemon, the green will be much brighter. So there is even this consideration. If the color is transparent or opaque, will create different colors with different brilliancy, different qualities. So now let's see, we get the orange. So this should be, actually, let's go. They keep the orange, the surprise for last, right? So we see the blue and the violet and the red, which should make violet. So I'm gonna get the same red here, right? The same red that I have here. Mix it in my little dish. You know, when you paint, you should never do this, of course, you know, but I have limited visual field, so I have to drag this over the painting, right? So, but you don't, this is anathema. The artist should hold their painting, even if it's just an exercise like this, sacred, right? So you see what happened here with the violet, right? Same thing. Look how beautiful that is. I add a little bit more blue, a little bit darker. So these are two transparent colors, right? Two transparent colors, and I can obtain a nice dark violet or purple, or really depends on how many, the dilution of the quantity actually of red versus blue, right, and vice versa. So now, so move on to orange, right, and we'll see how we take a little bit more yellow, right. So yeah, we'll always want to have the brush clean, right, because if I start taking a brush that has some green in there, I put it in there, that green is going to be contaminated. It's not going to be pure anymore. And these colors are just beautiful. I mean, these are, I really love these colors. They're blocks, and they are kind of made with honey. Nobody makes them with honey anymore. I mean, honey is really not this great magic anything, right? But it's traditional. It's traditional, a very traditional method. So anyway, so now I get this nice orange, right? Actually, you know, this orange is much better than I thought. But later we're going to compare this orange with an orange obtained with different mixes, right? Beautiful orange, very nice, warm, but not the sport car orange that you would expect, right? Closer to a brick orange, right? See that? Right. So now I have these secondary colors. Now, a thing you could do at this point to extend this exercise, you could mix yellow and red by changing dilution of the quantity. The quantity of one pigment, right, versus the other one. So in here, I put a little bit more yellow, right, and even a little bit more yellow. See that? Until I get to minimal difference between the original. Also, I mean, different between the yellow and the orange. See that? So in here, just like that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. But I could also go toward the darker oranges. So add a little bit more red and obtain another extra 3 colors, right? You could also create many more oranges in here with minimal differences. But So imagine, let's say we could have here 10 oranges, we could have now 10 violets, we could have 10 green. So just with these three colors, I have obtained 30 colors, right? So let's see now what happens if I get, if I mix actually let me take a break because I had to clean up the palette.